This is Ian at 660 Canyon Drive. Going to go ahead and do a quick digital roof inspection. And first thing that jumped out at me when I approached the front door is kind of this area. So we see that line right there. That means that that rafter tail, where'd it go? That rafter tail, which is these pieces of wood here all along the eaves, has been replaced. Most likely by a termite guy, because when we re-roof the house, we don't seam them like that. We do it a different, more professional way. But these holes right here are from termite inspection when they were poking holes in the termite kind of damaged areas. As we come underneath here, we can see that rotten wood there, and so that's kind of what jumped out at me again as I approached the house. Majority of the rafter tails, which are these, and the starter board, which is this, all looks pretty darn good around the home. And then we've got fascia, as well as fascia trim, that little 1x3 piece of wood underneath there. So majority of the wood does look really good. The house has obviously been very well maintained. And there are kind of conflicting clues as to what areas of the home have been re-roofed and what areas are still original. So let's jump up there so I can kind of explain a few things to you. There's some more termite damage. It's very common for us to replace, on a home this big and of this age, maybe 100 feet or 200 feet of fascia, and quite a, we can get into quite a bit of wood repair. So the roof has been maintained. This is a full weight concrete tile, and so I walk around up here without breaking any. There are different types of tile that are very brittle. But yeah, this roof is in good condition. So there's a heat vent that goes to a dryer or a water heater. We definitely need to get a cap on that. As we come over here to these valleys, so this is a valley right here. This is clue number one that this roof is still original. So that's an old-fashioned valley. Nowadays, we leave a 2 to 3 inch gap between the tiles in our valleys to allow for water and debris to rinse through there. We can see that this one looks like it's kind of been opened up, and so it's still not definitive on kind of what's been done. Skylight still looks like it's waterproof. That's great. All the flashings look like they've been done professionally. That looks good. All right, so what I would propose is this is our best roof plane right here for solar. And by the usage I've seen on your bill, if we can delete this chimney and completely fill this roof plane with solar, then this would be perfect. So obviously we got some additional work in deleting this chimney. But as I look around this roof, there's no broken tiles. It's all properly flashed. Then I want to get a look at the felt, the waterproofing underneath it. The more I look around this roof, the more I see this little line here. What that tells me is tiles have been moved. And so basically, when tiles get rearranged, you start to see those little discolored lines. I can see one right there. And this one right here didn't have nails in it, so I moved it. And sure enough, that waterproofing is in excellent condition. So that tells me that this roof has been done. As I look down this line, there's almost some nails exposed, and so that's a little bit concerning. But for the most part, this roof looks like it was done pretty well, and so I don't have a lot of concerns putting solar on it just the way it is. It would just make a lot more space if we deleted that chimney. I'll go ahead and get this tile back in place. And then as far as the solar thermal goes, this big old roof plane right here, it's got a little bit of shade on it right now early in the morning, but it's west facing. And so I would suggest filling this with the solar thermal for the pool because it is right next to the pool equipment and it's newer. So this addition has, let's see, there's nowhere where I can show it easily, but it's got a piece of flashing at the edge of the roof that's called drip edge. And that tells me that this is much newer than the majority of the house. So save this area for solar thermal, and then run the pool from maybe noon till 4 p.m. would be my suggestion, because at 4 p.m. electricity gets much more expensive. What else? What else did I see? So yeah, so I'm pleasantly surprised. Oh, there you go. So if you look at these valleys here, we can tell these are much more modern because of that big space that was left between the tiles versus the valley on the front of the house.